So I didn't know if this is like really early for you.
Yeah. Fun fact about me: I'm up at like 5 o'clock every day because I got to get things done. I'm usually at the gym, but it's raining here and foggy here, so it's taking me longer to get there today.
There you go. So you get every morning at 5 o'clock. You like to hit the gym, huh?
Well, I wake up at 5. I usually get to the gym by like 5:30 ish, But yeah,
see, this
got to get it out of the way, man.
No. I just got to get it. Period. I don't even get it out of the way. I just don't do it. But I mean, for you, but it makes sense because someone like you could tell if you just take the 2 seconds to read about you and learn about you. You are a driven man of many talents, a man that's done a lot in a short amount of time. I mean, the acting, the comedy. We even were doing our research on you on the old YouTube today and discovered you were almost part of a boy band.
Whoa, how did you find that out? Is that on YouTube?
It is on YouTube. It is on YouTube. You almost were in O-Town. Is that is true?
I mean, I auditioned for O-Town and I did, make a little headway, but yeah, I was not good enough. I was actually just writing about that last night. I'm going to talk about it on stage one day. So yeah, so it wasn't meant to be. I wasn't meant to be a pop star, and that is what it is.
So let's talk about your comedy now. So what drove you as someone who's, like I said, talented singer, actor, been on television. What was it about comedy that drew you in?
I mean, the short answer, childhood trauma. Probably, I think that's why a lot of us get into it. I'm sure I don't know how many comedians you have on there, but I bet that's a running theme. But honestly, I grew up watching, even though I probably shouldn't have, like Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, like those guys, back in like the 80s, and whatnot. And I just was always enamored by comedy and stand-up comedy. I remember watching, coming home and watching Def Jam comedy on Friday nights on HBO. Like, you know what I mean? Like just a great, and it just seemed like such a cool thing. And then, like I said, one thing led to another, and then, a couple breakups, and next thing you know, I'm in therapy, and I'm also on stage, which is also therapy. And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's got to be therapeutic to some point because, like you said, you can take the good things, but you can also take the bad things happening in your life and find a way to tell a story, make it fun. And in a way, that's a good point. It's got to be a little healing, not just for you, but if you're out there in the crowd laughing, how many people probably are hearing your stories going, man, I understand that, or man, I've been through that.
So many times, when we're new, we all kind of, talk about just whatever we might think, I mean, I don't want to, we talk about body parts and, sexual acts and, everyone, we all suck when we're new. And, some might argue on the internet that we still suck now. I get that sometimes, but I think that once you find your voice, and for me, it was actually being truthful with like some of the, the unfortunate things that have happened either to me or people in my family. And then I end up talking about on stage. And yeah, like I did find that it was therapeutic, not only, like you said, for myself, but, I talk about my dad a lot, which I don't know how much of my comedy you guys watch, and it's totally fine if you didn't watch. But my dad was a drug addict and went to prison for selling drugs and stuff. And when I started talking about that, people would come up to me after shows and, be like, hey, my dad was also in prison or an addict or what. And it really started to resonate with a lot of people. And that was kind of when I found my voice, but I also found like, oh, I can help myself, but also help other people by, talking about what I've been through and, like you said, make it funny. And, that was just kind of, it ended up being really therapeutic for me, and I love it. It's kind of morbid, but like I said, a lot of us have been through trauma. I'm sure some of us haven't, but a lot of us have. And the thing about comics is when something bad happens to us, we grieve, we do this, and then we're like, okay, how can we make this funny? Like, that's like,
right.
It's almost like, yeah, like it's almost like we're glad something bad happened so that we can figure out how to make it funny, which is probably not healthy, but
there's that saying, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I mean, it's there for a reason. I mean, you know what I mean? It's I get that completely. Yeah. We've heard a lot of stories about how comics have gotten into the business. I really like yours though.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no,
I'm glad my trauma can bring you satisfaction.
No, that you're using your trauma to help make other people feel like they're not alone and that they can relate, that there's somebody that can relate to them.
it's funny because, like I said, we all get into it for different reasons. And like I said, I grew up just being enamored with stand-up comedy and never thinking that I could actually do it. And then once we start, for me, once I kind of like found a little bit of a groove, I was like, I want people to walk away from my comedy feeling like they know me and they can, because that for me, those are always, there's so many great comics that have, come before me, and I'm a huge fan and student of, past comics and even current comics as well. And, some people are just like, observational and whatever, but for me, I want people to walk away from my shows being like, I know this guy. I even though they may not, because we embellish a little bit, obviously, but like I want people to get a good idea of who I am and where I came from, because I know there are other people, maybe even, heaven forbid kids listen to my comedy, but that have gone through or going through similar things. And they're like, oh, he made something out of that. Like, it's not a death sentence. It's not like I can get out of my circumstances. I can do these things. And I love doing that while making people laugh. Like, I don't preach, but when I talk about the things that I've been through, I feel like people can be inspired while laughing. And I don't know. It's a silly pipe dream, but that's what I go with.
We're talking to Peter Surs, comedian's going to be performing at Krackpots this Saturday night. There's 2 shows. We're giving away tickets to this show after we're done talking to Peter.
I'm there Friday too.
You are there Friday too.
Yeah, we talked
Friday,
about that.
January 26th, and then Saturday as well. But the tickets we're giving away are for Saturday's show. Now I have a question. I always wondered this. You do back-to-back on Saturday. You're doing 7:30 and 9:15. What is that like for a comic when you get up, do your show, I guess you get maybe a half hour, 45 minutes to relax maybe, or come down, and then get right back up? And is it literally verbatim, or do you personally switch it up? Like, I'm just curious how that works when you're doing not only 2 shows in a day, but that close together.
Right. Well, we always hope that there's a groupie that we can hang out with in the middle of the shows. It never happens, but we hope. But honestly, everybody's different. Everyone has a different process. I have what, I'm making quotations right now, my act, like what I want to talk about. Again, like I was saying earlier, like there's certain stories that I want people to hear because they're important to me, that I get those out there because it's where I came from, Mm-hmm. And then I kind of, like I have a bunch of stuff that I can pull from, but there's definitely a through line from the beginning of my act to the end. But at the same time, I'm not a robot on stage. I do like to be free. And, sometimes maybe something comes to my mind. Like, my comedy is very people think I'm just talking, and obviously I've rehearsed it, hundreds and thousands of times, but I do allow myself the ability to be free. So if, something happens in the audience, maybe, heaven forbid someone passes out, or, just whatever, like I can address. Or, also in the same token, I'm not famous. So maybe sometimes this is not going to happen this weekend, but maybe there's 4 people in the audience. I've done that. I've headlined a comedy club where 2 people came to my show before. And to sit there and just recite my material without addressing the fact that there's only 2 people, or maybe not even getting to know them a little bit. Because if it's that intimate, you kind of got to talk to them a little bit,
Right.
I know like the big trend in comedy right now is, everyone wants to get heckled, or people want to heckle so that they can become part of the show. And I don't condone that at all. But there are instances where like there's so few people that you have to kind of talk to them, and you might get away from the act a little bit, but you can intertwine. And so I just allow myself the ability to be free like that. And, sometimes when that happens, when I'm just kind of open to the moment, then I get nuggets that, maybe I say something that I didn't write, and then it becomes funny, and that becomes part of my act. Or maybe something happens in the show and I can go back to another show and be like, last week this happened in Massillon, like,
Right.
So to answer your question, it's a little bit of both. I do have my act. In a perfect world, I just go front to back, but I do allow myself the ability to be present on stage and maybe switch it up a little bit. Or, sometimes not every city or region, certain material may not resonate in different areas. So I might just take that out completely,
Yeah. But depending on the audience, what city you're in, what state you're in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You touched on something. Where do you stand on like crowd work for comedians? Because I see it. a lot of comedians kind of debating on crowd work. Is that easy? Is it low hanging fruit? I don't necessarily think that's easy to do. You still got to be funny if you're trying to do crowd work.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. It's definitely like some people are really good at it, like I'm amazing at it. And then other people, it's kind of like they probably shouldn't be doing it. It could be lazy. And, you know, I'll be honest, myself, I get up at 5 o'clock. I'm not lazy, but there are lazy comics. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name any names, but I will see people. Because the thing is like the old adage used to be, you'll post a clip of your comedy, but you're doing crowd work because you don't want to burn material so that when people come see your show, they see the same joke that they saw online.
Right.
So that was kind of like, you know, the idea behind posting crowd work versus posting material. But then it got to the point where like everyone started trying to make crowd work happen so that they could get these clips. And then they became lazy because they're not doing their material. And I've seen people do that. They just go up and they start talking and it's not going anywhere. And so it's like, if you're like a quote unquote crowd work comic, which there are, you know, several that I can think of that's their act is they do crowd work. It's great. But I think like for people that just go out there and they don't do their material, they're just kind of trying to talk and nothing's really happening. That's not what I do. You know, I always tell myself that people are always, and don't be one of those people that, you know, go to a comedy show and they're afraid to sit in the front because they don't want to get made fun of. I can tell you from myself and from a lot of my comic friends, we spend hours writing and hundreds, like I said, and thousands of hours performing so that we can do the material that we wrote. I don't want to make fun of anybody. I have no intention. I don't want to make the show about them. Show's about me and my issues, you know? This is my time. I don't want to make fun of anybody, but, you know, sometimes people will not be quiet. And if the, you know, venue doesn't address it, then we kind of have to address it. And, you know, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go. Crowd work can go really bad sometimes, which is why I don't like to try to rely on it because, you know, if you ask someone, oh, what do you do for a living? And they have the most boring job and you can't do anything with it. It's like, you know what I mean? You're just going to dig yourself into a hole. So I just try not to. But like I said, in the moment, if something happens, then yeah, I could do it. Like I'm great at it. Like I've emceed a bunch, you know, in my past, like events, and like I feel like I'm good at it, but I prefer to not do it because I have lots. Like I always have to decide what material I'm gonna do. You know, like am I gonna do these jokes? Like I always end up ending my set, and I didn't get to tell a story that I wanted to tell. I don't want to waste more time by talking to the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we really appreciate you joining us this morning, Peter. We are so looking forward to seeing you at Krackpots Comedy this weekend. You're there. You have a show tomorrow night, Friday. You also have 2 shows on Saturday. What do you think? Should we give some tickets away to some of our lucky listeners?
We should. We should give them away to the people that follow me on social media.
Oh, there you go. There you
go. You follow Peter Sirs on social media. And we will send in a screenshot to our text line, and maybe we'll hook you up with tickets to the show here. You can go see Peter. Hey, Peter, good conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations on all the success. Good luck in the future. And I know you're going to kill it this Friday and Saturday over at Krackpots.
Are you guys coming to the show?
Possibly.
We might, hopefully, if we can get free around here.
Babysitters. That's the thing.
That's the problem. I got a 9-month-old baby right now.
Okay, definitely not the 9-month-old, but you could probably bring the other kids. Just cover their ears.
Okay, earmuffs.
Peter, honestly, good convo, man. Congratulations. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you guys this weekend.
All right, have a great day.